Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Do we have a segment, a live chat for you? And first and foremost, let me thank Rosebud. God bless you and thank you. This is even before the live chat started. Rosebud sending heartfelt love to all my Patriot friends. God bless and keep you safe. God bless you, Rosebud. Thank you so much and happy Thanksgiving to you. And looks like it's heating up. We can only assume that Trump is positioning himself to act decisively. Now, he must, thank you again, Rosebud. He must act decisively. President Trump must act decisively. He can't worry about, the media is going to say that he's a tyrant, he's a dictator, Obama was wonderful, he had nothing to do with spying on Trump and fabricating the Steele dossier, and that BuzzFeed is suing the DNC. They're going to say that Obama had nothing to do with, had absolutely nothing to do with Loretta Lynch speaking to Voice Under, hello. Loretta Lynch speaking to Bill Clinton about golf, Brexit, and grandchildren. They had nothing to do with Comey covering up the Clinton email investigation, saying, well, she committed these crimes, but she committed these crimes, but she didn't mean to do so. There was no intent there. So no reasonable prosecutor would indict. Of course, we need to find out what reasonable prosecutors he's talking about, because this was an absolute cover-up under the Obama administration. I have an upload prior to this. Please go ahead and share it. It's basically a synopsis of this live stream. And here it is. So to everyone watching, here it is, ladies and gentlemen. But thank you, Eric H526. So yeah, that's the upload. But ladies and gentlemen, the New York Times today. We'll read the article. The New York Times today wrote a piece on, apparently Trump wanted Sessions and the Sessions DOJ to indict Clinton. DOJ lawyers said, nah, we don't want to. Okay. You have a problem there. A problem because Clinton did commit crimes, and a problem because there are too many people beholden to Hillary Clinton in the DOJ. Now, we know the Hillary Clinton server was hacked by China. We know from Louis Gohmert. We know from the Inspector General, Charles McAuliffe. We know from the latest Judicial Watch filings that she had even more classified emails than we thought. Nobody has investigated or asked how Clinton transferred the top secret intelligence. The government almost certainly knows. 4 years of Brian Pagliano's emails are missing. 4 years. Okay? 4 years of his emails missing. Now, if 4 years of Trump Jr.'s emails were missing, if he was in the United States government, or if Kushner's emails were missing for 4 years, you would have nonstop. It would be hashtag 4 years of emails missing. You had Cheryl Mills, who knew about the server. You had Brian Pagliano, who helped set up the server. You had David Kendall, Heather Samuelson, and Cheryl Mills, who deleted 30,000 emails without government oversight. And Lord knows if whether or not they had the proper security clearances, because she did have special access program intelligence. So he has to act. Matthew Whitaker has to act. Now, this is Judicial Watch President Tom Fitton 24 minutes ago. Now that President Trump has removed Jeff Sessions and appointed Whitaker as acting attorney general, I hope the new DOJ leadership ends the abusive Mueller probe and does a serious prosecution of Clinton email crimes and other misconduct. I hope so also. But let's read Rosebud. Thank you again. And to my super chat, thank you so very much. Let's read the New York Times article. Let's read the New York Times article, because the way they spin it, is, oh, well, he's going after his political rivals. Oh my God. Oh my God, he's going after his political rivals. And notice how we might be getting close to, and this is Maggie Haberman, who was in the Podesta emails, or sorry, DNC emails, no, Podesta emails, as a friendly journalist. Maggie Haberman and Michael S. Schmidt, these are the two journalists at the New York Times who they do their job. Okay. Maybe that was wrong. Maybe Maggie Haberman is not a friendly journalist. Maybe she's just a great journalist. But this is an interesting article. It's written in a manner that says if Trump were to go after Hillary, that would be an egregious abuse of power. Roosevelt Media, I made another classic H.A. Goodman video. Great job with Julian Assange showdown. Sent you a tweet. I did see that. I will look at that again. I haven't seen the video, but Roosevelt Media, thank you again. Thank you, Roosevelt Media. Thank you very much. I appreciate that, and I appreciate your enjoyment or interest in my, in my impersonations and my work. Thank you, Roosevelt Media. Thank you very much. So let's read this, and this is going to be very interesting. This is the New York Times article that started off everything today. That it's just started off everything. So let's read this. Trump wanted to order Justice Department to prosecute Comey and Clinton. November 20th, 2018. Washington. President Trump told the White House counsel in the spring that he wanted to order the Justice Department to prosecute two of his political adversaries, his 2016 challenger Hillary Clinton and the former FBI Director James B. Comey, according to two people familiar with the conversation. This is fantastic news. What's wrong with this? There's nothing wrong with this. The lawyer Donald F. McCann rebuffed the president, saying that he had no authority to order a prosecution. Yeah, Trump probably already knew that. But the point was, there's enough evidence already to simply prosecute. She transferred top secret intelligence outside the United States government onto a server, and she never got the authority to use a server. And also, her server was hacked. And also, it was a conspiracy to engage in that. She had to have people monitoring. Thank you, Roosevelt Media, again. She had to have people monitoring her server and making it work. So she had not just Brian Pagliano. She had a number of people. She had she even told one of her, who was it? Not Philippe Reigns. It was who was it? She told, yeah, just just take it off of the secure network and send it non-paper. I forgot the exact I forgot the exact wording, but anyway, we'll just read you this. So, I mean, she deleted 30,000 plus emails and almost certainly deleted classified emails, but they sent a laptop in the mail. They actually, this is the Daily Beast. They actually, one of Bill Clinton's aides sent a laptop in the mail. Just shoved it in the mail. UPS, FedEx, we don't know it. Now we know it's USPS. And that's with all all her emails, including a thumb drive with her classified emails. And she then outsourced her emails to two cloud services before retroactive classification, including the Bourne classified emails. That's Platte River and Dado Inc. I explain all of this in my book, but her top secret emails. People are still buying it on Amazon. This is insane. Insane in the membrane. Insane in the brain. This is insane. Cypress Hill needs to do a Clinton email song. The lawyer, Donald F. McGahn, horrible advice to Trump, horrible advice. Mr. McGahn said that while he, you know what, they could have held on to the House. Had he simply went after Clinton, they would have put all of their effort to protect Clinton. No, none of the lies regarding Medicare for all, which they're lying about. Mr. McGahn said that while he could request an investigation, of course he could, that too can prompt accusations of abuse of power. Trump can't go to the bathroom or sneeze without accusations of abuse of power. So there's always, he can't do anything. He can't do anything. The guy can't do anything, so he might as well just act and not give a what regarding what people think of his decisions. He needs to act decisively. If he doesn't act decisively, Roosevelt Media, it's all good. Like a great Tecate or wonderful Corona. Let's continue reading. To underscore his point, Mr. McGahn and White House lawyers write a memo for Mr. Trump warning that if he asked law enforcement to investigate his rivals, Obama asked law enforcement to investigate Trump. Oh, no, there's no evidence of that. Okay, fine. So Obama's administration investigated Trump. Obama's administration investigated his rival, Clinton's direct rival, and fabricated an investigation and crimes using the Steele dossier. Oh my goodness, bodily fluids. It must be true. The Steele dossier. They are guilty of every single thing they accuse others of. Every single thing they accuse others of, they're guilty of doing. Every single thing. It's uncanny. So now they're marketing and they're twisting it to where James Comey and Brennan and Clapper, even though they lied under oath and they should have been charged with perjury, Comey and Clapper, they were completely removed from President Obama, and they just happened to utilize a Steele dossier. And John Brennan just happened not to inform Obama, but to inform Harry Reid of the Steele dossier. This is this is a mess. This is the biggest political controversy in American history. There has never been. Watergate was nothing compared to Watergate was like the teacup ride at Disneyland compared to this. Watergate was nothing. And you can look at other scandals, nothing compared to what happened here. They targeted, the United States intelligence community targeted a political rival of Hillary Clinton and Bill Clinton and Hillary Clinton and President Obama. They're the ones who went after Trump. They're the ones who targeted a political rival. Horace, salut, mon ami Horace. Thank you so very much. As always, thank you, Horace. As always, thank you. Thank you, Horace. Agent Pepsi 1, Trump should have fired A.G. Sessions when he recused himself. It's true. Trump will not make the same mistake with Whitaker. Whitaker will act or be instantly. Agent Pepsi 1. I hope that would be the case. But he needs to act decisively. He needs to act decisively and without any consideration. Without any consideration of the left or of the media. Democrats are going to spin anything. Look, This is a message to President Trump. President Trump, nothing you do will be acceptable to Democrats. Nothing you do. Nothing. Nothing short of resignation. Nothing. They will spin everything. You were elected to drain the swamp. You were elected to rid the country of criminals, absolute, overt, blatant criminals, using a private server. And then they say, you want to talk about lies. It wasn't for yoga. It wasn't, other people didn't do it. It wasn't a security review. And the one person who actually did submarine Clinton's presidency was Comey, who wrote the Comey letter, because there was classified intelligence on Anthony Weiner's laptop. They sat on the Weiner laptop. Okay? They sat on the Weiner laptop. And that was okay for them. And he was James Comey was lying through his teeth. Who is it? Senator Kennedy, who said, or no, Congressman Kennedy, who said, from Louisiana, I believe, who said, oh, yeah, was there a classified intelligence on Anthony Weiner's? Oh, no. Did they commit crimes? And then he's like, I just don't. We didn't talk to Anthony Weiner. He had pending legal issues. As if the FBI doesn't want to, make someone's life even more miserable. I mean, Manafort was in solitary for like a big part of this whole debacle. They don't care. He was lying through his teeth. They didn't ask Anthony Weiner anything, just like they didn't ask Brian Pagliano, just like they didn't ask Uma Abedin. Subpoena Uma Abedin. Indict Uma Abedin. Get FBI agents tomorrow. FBI agents beholden to Trump the way they were beholden to Obama, to ask questions and make sure there's an indictment. Play the same. If this game is being played by ruthless criminals, then play the same game. And do so with evidence on your side, because actually there were crimes committed. You can't just have classified intelligence and top secret intelligence outside the United States government on a server that anyone could hack, and everyone did hack, where you literally don't know if there's espionage taking place. We trust that Clinton didn't sell secrets. That's treason. We trust there was no treasonous behavior. Why would you trust that from both Clintons? Oh, wait, Canadian, Trump doesn't get enough credit. He knows what is going on. I swear he watches UHA. Oh, wait, Canadian, thank you. Who knows? Maybe there are people within Trump's administration who do watch me. I think there might be. Oh, wait, Canadian, thank you so very, very much. But I can't help but thinking we're almost there. I can't help but thinking that. I can't help but thinking we're almost there. We're almost there. We'll see. We'll see. It is a situation where they're almost telegraphing what's taking place. So let's read. To underscore his point, Mr. McGahn and White House lawyers write a memo from Mr. Trump warning that if he asked law enforcement to investigate his rivals, they're not criminals, you see, they're his rivals, he could face a range of consequences, including possible impeachment. They're going to try to impeach him no matter what. So there you go. There you go. They're going to try to impeach him no matter what. Look, this is something I learned in politics. It's something I learned. Like, if you are, and media, and just being a pundit on the left and now a Trump supporter, unfortunately, there are people who do not want to reach, they don't want to come to a reasonable disagreement. They don't want to debate. They don't want to look at facts. They don't want to admit they're wrong. They don't want to simply say, we'll agree to disagree. They don't want to be civil, and they don't want to be rational or logical. They just want to either destroy you or hurt you or insult you or demean you to ensure that their prestige or their um, fan base or viewership or whatever, they just want to hurt you to ensure that they benefit somehow financially, in terms of the political arena. I've seen this before. Now, inadvertently, I managed to circumvent all of that because when I was on the left, a whole bunch of people wrote hit pieces on me. Daily Beast, Raw Story, Wonket. I mean, lesser known, irrelevant publications consistently obsessed about me. People said I was so horrible on Reddit. Like I'm like, public enemy number one on Reddit for like 2 years. And there's other places people don't like. But there's a lot of people who do like me. And I'm very thankful for that. And the reason there are people who do like me, who follow me, is because I'm true to myself. And I don't care if I don't care what people think. I'm still going to talk about issues that everyone is focused on. For example, Clinton emails. For example, Clinton being indicted. What Trump needs to do, and he knows this better than me. Thank you, Eric H526. Thank you, everyone. What Trump needs to do is not worry about people like Don McGahn. Not worry. If you talk to a White House lawyer, the guy has been a White House lawyer since, I believe, the Bill Clinton episode. These people are establishment people. They think the New York Times and the Washington Post are fantastic, wonderful publications. Trump has surrounded himself with DC establishment people for too long. He was hired to drain the swamp, whatever euphemism you want to call it. He was not hired to go after Julian Assange. He was hired to simply implement justice. Hillary Clinton got away with overt crimes. Christian Saucier, the sailor, was ripped apart away from his family for over a year because he took a picture in a submarine. Okay, Trump pardoned him. And the Justice Department was not independent under Obama. They covered up for Clinton also. Justice Department officials met with Podesta for lunch while the investigation was ongoing, tipped off Brian Fallon while the investigation was ongoing, and the investigation wasn't an investigation. Peter Strzok made sure that Clinton got off. And we know his not just bias, his intense hatred. He hated Trump. Do you understand? This is not it was a bias, You know those people when you watch football games, they're like their whole bodies are painted in freezing cold with their team's colors? They don't have a bias towards their team. They love their team. There's a difference. One is just, I kind of feel a certain way about something. The other is intense passion. Peter Strzok had intense passion against Trump. Angela Chung. Hi, everyone. Please look up 25 crazy government spends your earned tax dollars. Number 1, honeybees on cocaine. Wow. That's like a punk rock band name. Honeybees on cocaine. Wow. 242,000. Oh my God. Honeybees on cocaine? Oh my God. Please, everyone, write to Congress to stop spending. Angela Chung, that is true. You're right about that. Wow. That's, it's unbelievable. That's unbelievable. Angela Chung. Those are some happy honeybees. Not joking. Those are some messed up honeybees. Angela, thank you as always for watching. Thank you, Angela. So let's continue. The encounter was one of the most blatant examples yet of how Mr. Trump views the typically independent. He wasn't independent. Eric Holder was found in contempt of Congress, the typically independent Justice Department. Wow. Eric Holder. Let's look at Eric Holder, contempt of Congress. Eric Holder, contempt of Congress. On June 20th, 2012, the Oversight Committee voted 23-17 along party lines to hold Holder in contempt of Congress for not releasing documents the committee had requested. Wow, what a typically independent. On June 28, 2012, Holder became the first U.S. attorney in history to be held in both criminal and civil contempt. Both criminal and civil contempt. Again, both criminal and civil contempt. "17 Democrats bucked party lines and voted with Republicans to pass a criminal contempt resolution." In 255-67 vote, House places Holder in contempt of Congress. Even Democrats said, yeah, he's criminally liable. What a wonderful, wonderful Attorney General Eric Holder was. He was so great. He was really, really great. He was really great. The only Attorney General ever to be held in contempt of Congress, criminally and in criminal contempt of Congress. What a wonderful, wonderful Attorney General. So it's like, they're living in an alternate reality. Do you understand? They don't even know. They don't realize that there's something called the internet, or you can just look and do just a modicum of research, just tiny bit of research. My God, just a tiny bit of research. They create this. They cover up the fake news. They cover up fake news by, how do you have these Republicans who lose last second always? In Utah, no less. I don't buy it. Anyway, it doesn't matter. It does matter, but Trump needs to act quickly. Trying to find. So here's Miss Haberman, fantastic journalist. Fantastic journalist. The House, this is in what? In 2012. The only attorney general to be held in contempt of Congress. Okay? This is important, ladies and gentlemen. This is important because it undermines the belief. The premise of this article is that the White House has been independent. Obama was very smart. He didn't have to say, hey, don't do this. People around him did their job. They were very loyal, and they didn't need verbal cues. Or maybe they were given verbal cues and the media didn't care. But with Trump, he can't go to the bathroom. The guy can't go to the bathroom without the SWAT team breaking in. There's nothing that can happen that with Trump that it's just it's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. Former Attorney General says, okay, so former Attorney General downplayed her infamous tarmac meeting with Bill Clinton as mere small talk. They were talking about Brexit and grandchildren. Don't you know? Lynch said they spoke about innocuous things such as Clinton's grandchildren. That's totally believable. That's not fake news. They hide behind plausible deniability and they say, well, you can't prove that it's fake. You can't prove that they didn't speak about that. But then with Trump, they just pounce it. He said to indict Clinton, and that's really mean. Don't you know? That's really mean because Obama never said to use the Steele dossier. Where's the evidence of that? See, there's no evidence of that. He never said to use the Steele dossier. He never said to use the Steele dossier. And so there you go. There you go. It's like this. Those are just two of many examples where Obama's DOJ, and let's not get into the intelligence community, Obama's own intelligence community spied on a Democratic Senate. So let's not even get into that. So, I mean, all of this is marketing, ladies and gentlemen. It's called marketing. It's called journalism/marketing. It's called journalism/marketing. And, there's so many other examples. Why did they use the Steele dossier? Why on earth did they use the Steele dossier? They used the Steele dossier simply to target a rival. And there you go. There you go. But let's continue reading. It's unclear whether Mr. Trump read Mr. McGahn's memo or whether he pursued the prosecution further. Well, he obviously didn't. She's not indicted. But the president has continued to privately discuss the matter, including the possible appointment of a second special counsel to investigate both Mrs. Clinton and Mr. Comey. So issue them. He has repeatedly expressed disappointment. Issue these special counsels, and you have Gina Haspel, you have Pompeo, you have General Nakasone, and you have Christopher Wray. Christopher Wray is a political animal. If there's enough pressure from the DOJ and if there's enough pressure from the CIA, he will play ball. Okay, these are all political animals. They don't care about justice. They don't care about criminal behavior. They care about political pressure. The media is firmly an arm of the Democratic Party, so you can't rely on the media. You have to, if you're Trump, do 2 or 3 Fox News appearances every week. 2 or 3. Go to CNN, explain what Clinton did. Have Matthew Whitaker go to, just explain the extent, communicate, articulate, market the extent of Clinton's crimes. And if it's not CNN, look, whatever corporations or publications or journalists, whichever journalists spoke to Eric Holder and Loretta Lynch during their scandals, speak to those journalists. Go to whatever, NPR or PBS or CBS or whatever. Explain, look, she committed crimes. She transferred top secret intelligence using Brian Pagliano's help, and she did so by transferring photos, by having Brennan help her. Who knows? Get it out there. Get it out there. I explained in my book about her top secret emails, how it could have taken place, but I cite Paul Sperry. Paul Sperry has an article in the New York Post. But act decisively, Trump. Act decisively. They have to act decisively. Trump has to act decisively. He cannot waver. And I mean, now the window of time is either before Christmas and New Year's or after Christmas and New Year's. Otherwise, the media gains steam again. And then the House goes after his underwear. Then the House says, you have Russian underwear. We have to investigate. Why is it that the House can investigate Trump and go after their political rival, and the Clintons can go after their political rivals, no problem, and Obama can go after his political rival, but Trump can't even indict based on evidence of crimes? There was no evidence of Trump Russia. They went after him. They did a number on him. They did a number on Trump like I've never seen before. John O, did this on my chest? John O. Oh, regarding Medicare for All. John O. Thank you, John O. Thank you. Thank you, John O. Oh, the three chambers of government. What was it? John O, thank you. Mike Miller, H, enjoying the show? Well, introduce evidence into an investigation illegally. Mike Miller, thank you. Funny how all these MSM articles. I think that, Mike, what the articles are doing is they're preparing Democrats and the media for the eventual indictments of Clinton. Lorraine, thank you. I think that they're slowly, Mike, I think they're slowly preparing the media for when the hammer or the axe comes down. I think that they are. Thank you again, Mike Miller, John O. Mike, thank you again. John, thank you. So it's unclear whether Mr. Trump read Mr. McGahn's memo or whether he pursued the prosecutions further, but the president has continued to privately discuss the matter, including the possible appointment of a special counsel to investigate both Mrs. Clinton and Mr. Comey. They should, according to two people. You know what you do? You get Peter Strzok you get the FBI agents under the authority of a special counsel, like Rudy Giuliani. Nobody voted on Mueller. Nobody voted. He's America's mayor. Okay, and Mueller, by the way, has never been bipartisan. He worked under Obama. Oh, but he's a Republican. That's irrelevant. Look at Jeff Flake. With friends like Jeff Flake, who needs enemies? I honestly, like, Feinstein is more of a Republican than Jeff Flake in many ways. So if there's a special counsel, it's game over. The whole John Huber thing, this guy did nothing. He was under Sessions, and Sessions was like, you know what? How about Huber, undercover Huber? How about him? I'll just leave him there. He won't do anything. I'll make you think he's going to do something. And every day I'll try to submarine and sabotage and undermine your presidency so that you will get impeached. How's that for you? Well, you're out. Now you have Matthew Whitaker. Matthew Whitaker was like this giant muscle-bound guy, and he replaced Sessions. Well, I hope you like your muscles. Sorry, I couldn't provide that for you, Mr. Trump. I guess I'm going to have to take steroids now. He also repeatedly expressed disappointment in FBI Director Christopher Wray for failing to more aggressively investigate Mrs. Clinton, calling him weak. One of the people said. Unfortunately, Trump hired a very establishment guy. Hired a very, very establishment guy. So, but you have a special counsel. It'll take less than a month. It would take less than a month or 2 months or 3 months to get to the bottom of everything. And honestly, if you want to, I guess for 2020, if he wants a special counsel, it'll help Republicans' chances. Because the special counsel will go on for a year and a half, 2 years. And then they can drop the hammer right before Election Day. Meanwhile, Clinton's going to run. So you better indict before she runs, because then they'll say, you can't indict her, she's running. They'll play that game again. A White House spokesman declined to comment. Mr. McGahn will not comment on his legal advice to the president. Nice. So Mr. McCann actually refutes this article. Like any client, the president is entitled to confidentiality. Mr. McCann would point out, though, that the president never, to his knowledge, ordered that anyone prosecute Hillary Clinton or James Comey. So the White House it's like this entire article is debunked by this lawyer for McCann or associate of McGahn who says, yeah, that never happened. It's not clear which accusations Mr. Trump wanted prosecutors to pursue. He's accused Mr. Comey without evidence, except 4 of the 7 were classified, and Chuck Grashley had to read them in a skiff of illegally having classified information shared with the New York Times in a memo that Mr. Comey wrote about his interactions with the president. How absurd. Have you ever heard of anything more absurd in your life? Dylan Robinson, meanwhile, on Flint, budget fiscal year 2019 includes $39,000 bid for various gloves. Wow. Trump will have 2 years now for a special counsel into all the left's fraud. Wow. Wow. You know what? Maybe a special counsel might be better than just overt indictments. Because if you indicted Clinton, she'd be like, no. She literally would be like, no. What do you mean, no? You're indicted. Here are the charges. Here are the crimes you've committed. She should be like, no, we're not. What do you mean you're not? You're not what? Well, look at the New York Times. They say it's stupid. No, I'm not showing up. And, she might actually be able to circumvent any trial or any indictment just by saying no and having the left temper tantrum loud enough. Australia news. I was at lunch, briefly summarize when indictments are to happen. Hopefully soon. Oh, Hillary, far more. John O. Clinton, bigger, far bigger. But she did it lawfully. Ask Haiti. Ask, UBS. John O, thank you. Aussie J, thank you. Mike Miller, thank you. Yeah, I mean, so Mr. Trump's lawyers also privately asked the Justice Department last year to investigate Mr. Comey for mishandling sensitive government information. And for his role in the Clinton email investigation, law enforcement officials declined their request. Mr. Comey is a witness against the president in the investigation by the special counsel, Robert. How is Comey a witness when Comey was fired for being insubordinate? He's a witness? Comey has stated categorically that Trump was never under investigation. Comey stated that he never told he never told Comey that to lay go easy on Flynn, who, by the way, was set up. General Flynn, Papadopoulos, Carter Page were all set up. Trump was all set up. I mean, he has to. I don't know. I'm back and forth regarding a special counsel, but if you get a special counsel and you get Peter Strzok, a guy like Peter Strzok, it'll never work. So Trump has to be very careful, because there are all these safety nets that they have. Simply get Matthew Whitaker to indict, and then if they want to try to rip up the indictment, that'll anger the American public even more. That'll anger the entire world will look and say, what? Yeah, sure, the optics look bad. Oh, Trump is a tyrant, and he's going after his rival. Obama never did that with the Steele dossier and everything else. But the indictment would be there. She's an American citizen. So there's enough evidence. Get Victoria and Joseph DeGenova and Victoria Tenzing. Get Rudy Giuliani. Get legal Tom Fitton. These are legal minds and scholars that far superior than most people on the left. Any of the legal scholars on the left. They fight a game called lawfare. They use the law to just, circumvent reality. Armed American, we the people. When will justice ever be served? I haven't seen one of these corrupt Democrats go to prison yet. I mean, come on, people. All this election fraud this year, something's got to give. Exactly. I do think, and I agree with you, armed American, we the people. I agree with you. Something's got to give. And in the foundation, the edifice is cracking. We just don't know when it's going to finally crack. It is cracking. I do agree with you on that. I agree with you on that. We just don't know when. And believe me, we're all waiting. Missy, thank you, Missy. Thank you, Missy. Thank you. Artie, I think so. I think everyone here, all 887 people, we're all close to something big taking place. We just don't know what it is. See, Trump has to be careful, because if he engages in a special counsel and he doesn't get the same FBI agents that went after Papadopoulos and Carter Page, if he gets the FBI agents that interviewed the Inspector General report actually has FBI agents stating that one of the Clinton witnesses lied to the FBI, and they didn't go after the guy. To the FBI. Meanwhile, if Papadopoulos makes like one little fib, it's like, oh my God. And it was such a setup, he only got 14 days in jail. Mr. Trump has grown frustrated with Mr. Wray for what the president sees as his failure to investigate Mr. Clinton's role in the Obama administration decision to allow Russian nuclear agency to buy a uranium mining company. Conservatives have long pointed to donations to the Clinton family foundation by people associated with the company Uranium One as proof of corruption, but no evidence has emerged that those donations influenced the American approval of the deal. Well, of course, no. There's no memo that says, "Hey, thanks so much. Thanks so much. We're gonna push this through because of the money." That's not the way the Clintons work. And anyway, there's no money transfer the only money transfer from Russia to an American politician is from Uranium One to Clinton. And then you get you get like the comments in this article. Oh, Trump has no regard for the rule of law or due process. Due process? It was a cover-up. The rule of law? The Steele dossier was purchased by Clinton. The rule of law, Clinton committed crimes. This is like, let them freak out. Dylan Robinson, HA, are you going to run for local office in 2019? Thank you, Dylan. One day, maybe. Dylan Robinson, thank you. One day, you know, a while from now, at least a decade from now, maybe, possibly. Dylan Robinson, thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Space Bike Music. Thank you. It's so easy, too, to defeat these people in a debate. Clinton said she did yoga. These emails were yoga. She was lying. I mean, they found classified intelligence on Anthony Weiner's laptop of all places. And as he was sending photos of himself throughout the planet. Mr. McGahn promised to write a memo outlining the president's authorities. In the day that followed, lawyers in the White House wrote a several-page document in which they strongly cautioned Mr. Trump against asking the Justice Department to investigate anyone. Why? That's stupid. HA, you need to run for the House of Representatives in your district. Thank you, John O. Thank you. Well, in California, it's difficult. All Democrat. Almost all Democrat. Thank you, John O. Thank you. Thank you, John O. Yeah, they're hardcore. I'm with her in California. The lawyer laid out a series of consequences. For starters, Justice Department lawyers could refuse to follow Mr. Trump's orders even before an investigation began, setting off another political firestorm. If charges were brought, the judges could dismiss them. Why would the judges? How could the judges dismiss charges brought by the DOJ? And Congress, they added, could investigate the president's role in a prosecution and begin impeachment proceedings. They're going to impeach Trump because Clinton committed crimes. We already have judges, Judicial Watch lawsuits that are dumbfounded regarding the Clinton crimes. She now has to answer under oath how she set up the server. So if you have a special counsel, the first two people are Brian Pagliano and Justin Cooper. Rebecca Dahl, follow the money from Beta Bob. And Gillum's campaign, that's right, O'Rourke. What, 3 times? What was it? No, almost twice as much. Lots of stuff here, especially what was exposed to Project Veritas. Yep, rack them all up. Rebecca Dahl, exactly. If you look at Open Secrets, Rebecca, if you look at Open Secrets, Cruz, O'Rourke, Texas Senate race, 33,000, almost 2 to 1. Ted Cruz spent 33 million, sorry. And O'Rourke spent 59 million, almost 2 to 1. And Beto O'Rourke raised $69 million. Ted Cruz raised $40 million. Ted Cruz spent $33 million, and Beto O'Rourke spent $59 million. That's why Beto O'Rourke got close. That and lying about Medicare for all. They're just lying to everyone. The first thing they talk about is not Medicare for all. It's, the I'm With Her platform. Thank you, Rebecca Dahl. Thank you. If charges were brought, the judges could dismiss them. Why would judges dismiss charges brought against Clinton for actually setting up a server outside the United States government? She literally could have engaged in espionage, actually selling secrets like Aldrich Ames. What if Aldrich Ames had a computer server outside of the United States government? He wouldn't have to have printed out anything and just, sold the information and met at like drop-off points and all these things. What if Robert Hansen had a set up a server? I mean, technology was you know, obviously wasn't anywhere close to where it is now in the 80s. But there were computer servers in the 80s. They're gigantic, but how big were servers in the 80s? Let's see. (1980s) computer servers. They're giant. They were like, you know, they were in giant rooms where all these servers, probably what, like your cell phone is probably the equivalent of at least half the room, or maybe the whole room. Who knows? But what if Aldrich Ames had his own server? Then what? John O. H.A., if you run for Congress, will expose its corruption. That's why I want to run here in New York. Run. It's my top issue in that term limits. Then run. John O., run. Do so. Do so. Absolutely. Do so. You must do so. John O., and you must inform us of, in 2 years when there's perhaps your congressman is up for re-election. The 3 chambers of government. See, that's why she doesn't want to. Very likely, why there's a reluctance to debate. Ultimately, the lawyers warned Mr. Trump could be voted out of office if voters believed he had abused his power. Voters wouldn't believe that. The majority of progressives and all of conservatives want Clinton to be indicted. So he should have done that. He really should have done that. And can I tell you, it probably would have helped keep the House, but he didn't. Mr. Trump's frustration about Mr. Comey and Mrs. Clinton were a recurring refrain. A former White House official said, "Why aren't they going after them?" Well, yeah, that's true. More significant, Mr. Mueller is investigating whether the president tried to impede his investigation. Could you imagine if the Mueller probe existed for Clinton? There would be there actually are people who would spill the beans because they helped commit crimes. This is not the rule of law. And the left uses this term, the rule of law, as people like John Brennan lie under oath and James Clapper lie under oath, and people are held in contempt of Congress, criminal contempt like Eric Holder. And Loretta Lynch meets with Bill Clinton to speak about golf president and grandchildren, the rule of law. Hillary Clinton doesn't even tell President Obama she's using a server, the rule of law. And then Comey, not the Attorney General, James Comey says, "Oh, by the way, we're not going to recommend indictments." It's not for him to recommend. She didn't mean to do it, although she committed crimes. Why doesn't Mueller say Trump didn't mean to work with Russia? Because he didn't work with Russia. Federal prosecutors in Utah were examining whether to appoint a special counsel to investigate Mrs. Clinton. A spokesperson for the United States Attorney for Utah declined to comment on Tuesday, said that whole thing, the Huber thing, was like just Sessions trying to placate and lie. He needs a special counsel, and he needs to pick Rudy Giuliani. That's it. Mueller was never neutral or impartial. Mueller always wanted blood. Mueller always was the attack dog. Mueller always was after Trump. And you want to talk about somebody who has a personal vendetta. He wanted to become the next James Comey, or he wanted to regain his title as FBI director. Trump said no. So then he goes and investigates Trump. How is that not a conflict of interest? How is that not a conflict of interest? Rhonda, Iowa girl. Are we sure Obama didn't pardon Hillary. I think it's possible. It is possible, but Rhonda Iowa girl, I think that we would have found out, and that would have implicated Clinton in, you know, in the that would have made people realize that she actually did commit crimes. So I think that, I think that right now, I'm not sure. I don't think that Obama nachos live stream. Well, that's one option. I'm still actually a registered Democrat. Rhonda Iowa girl, I think that eventually, I believe that Clinton will eventually get indicted. It's just a matter of when and how. And if the media and if the Democratic Party want to say that Trump is a tyrant and he's going after his political rival and he should be impeached for it, then they have to spend every waking moment and all their energy. That will alienate their voters. So that's another reason why Trump should act decisively now. Smokey over the line. Obama pardoning HRC would be an open admission of her guilt and his. It's true. It's true. But Rhonda Iowa girl, I think it's possible, but I think we would have found out. So, I just, wow. John Solomon, breaking news. What? House GOP to hold investigative hearings at the DOJ's handling of Clinton Foundation probe. What? This is like before they leave. Is this actually happening? Wow, November 20th. Representative Mark Meadows said Tuesday that House Republicans plan to hear testimony on December 5th from the prosecutors appointed by former Attorney General Jeff Sessions to probe alleged, oh no, wrongdoing by the Clinton Foundation. Jeez. So now Meadows, who is hearing Mr. Huber with the Department of Justice and the FBI have been having an investigation. At least part of the chances of this leading to anything, I'm hoping at least to something, but anything tied to Sessions doesn't look good. I'm hoping I'm wrong. Actually, I really hope I'm wrong. Mr. Huber with the Department of Justice and the FBI has been having an investigation. At least part of his task was to look at the Clinton Foundation and what may or may not have happened as it relates to improper activities. So if he doesn't drop the hammer, if Huber or people don't drop the hammer, Democrats could say, you see, they investigated, they found nothing. And it was under Trump's administration. Huber's work remains shrouded in mystery. See, this is dangerous right here. Danger. Hopefully there's just enough enough information of pay to play schemes that even if he's like, well, we didn't find anything, it'll be enough to continue. So, look, if Trump has a choice, he can either listen to people who give him nonsense. He can worry about the reaction of the media and of the Democratic Party and continue getting just bullied and beaten up by people who think the rule of law is a fair and square cover-up of Hillary Clinton, or he can act decisively. He has Andrew Whitaker, he has Gina Haspel, he has Pompeo, he has General Nakasone, he has Christopher Wray, he has the entire apparatus. He has the entire apparatus. He needs to act. He needs to act decisively, or he will forever be known as an orange-haired Bernie Sanders. And that would be very sad. That would be very sad. Give me your thoughts below. Hit subscribe right now. Thank you so very, very much to my super chat. Thank you so much. It's on. I mean, we're slowly getting. I would be running against Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, so the race would be between a tax professional and a waitress. Things. Try to run as a Democrat. And I'm going to look into running. You inspire. You definitely have to run, but try run as a Democrat, and then go ahead and just explain why Medicare for All doesn't work. And the platform could be, hey, look, you know what? We will do the next best thing, or more something that's feasible. Whereas what Cortez is saying is nothing she states is feasible. So, but John O, run. Find out why Alexandria Cortez won, why her campaign might hit roadblocks next election or the next time she's up for re-election, and find out how you can answer the questions of voters in your district regarding people who might be disenchanted with Alexandria Cortez and during the next election. Lyle Budd, pray for Julian. Absolutely, Lyle Budd, definitely. No, I agree with you. I want Julian Assange free. I want him free, and I believe that he is a hero. He is a hero. Lyle Budd, thank you. John O, thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you. God bless. And I'll see you a bit later. Things are happening, people. Things are happening, people. Something's happening. I don't know what, but something's happening. And I believe eventually Clinton will get indicted. It's just she actually committed crimes. Get Joe DiGenova, get Victoria Tenzing, get Tom Fitton, get the lawyers at Judicial Watch, have them work for the president. He needs to fight back, or else he will get steamrolled. Trump needs to get a fight back, or he will get steamrolled. He'll be an orange-haired Bernie Sanders. Thank you so very much. God bless. To my super chat, thank you. I'll see you soon.